All right, Garrett Johnston here with Stacy Lewis. You're the captain of the U.S. Solheim Cup team again, second time. And how does it feel, though? Just that title of captain, how does that feel to you?
Um, at times you don't think it's real, and life happens so fast sometimes that you blink and Spain was over, and now you're doing it again. So, it's an honor. To be on a list with these other great past captains, legends of the game, and to think that my name is now on the same list as them, is pretty amazing because this is fun. Like, this has been so much fun to work with the players, to be able to plan everything, and to be a part of trying to make this event as big and great as possible. It's been fun, and it's been a challenge, but it's been fun.
Well, you mentioned legends of the game, and I actually texted Julie Inkster yesterday to ask her what kinds of things did she take away from working with you in past Solheim Cups, and what's her observation of you as a captain? And she said that you're so much more organized than she is, and right, so, every apples to apples or apples to oranges. I'm curious, that organization and you got the passion for it. How do you think that'll helps in your leadership?
I think I'm an organized person by nature. I like to have a planner. I like to know what's going on, and I think it provides some clarity for the players. They know what to expect. They know what's going on. That's what I've just tried to do with them the entire time is give them timelines of what's happening. This is where I need you to be. This is what I need you to do. And that transfers into Solheim Cup week of preparing them ahead of time of what the week is going to be like. Last year in Spain, we were on site, so they had some downtime. When we finished golf, they could just go to their rooms and chill. And this year, we're going to be at this golf course from sun up to sundown. We're going to have to be leaving the hotel at 4:30 in the morning, and we're not going to get back till 8 o'clock at night. And so it's preparing them for that, and just help them know what's coming, because that was one thing as a player. I always felt like if I knew what was coming, it helped the golf be a little bit better.
When I talk about knowing what's coming, is there anything about last year? I know 14-14 tie, you can't get any closer than that, but anything about last year that you can kind of apply to this year, kind of any learning lessons?
Yeah, I mean, I think we did a lot right. First and foremost, we I brought the stats thing in, and I really wasn't sure how it was going to go. I mean, it was really a leap of faith. I was like, this could really work, or this could really backfire. And we saw it in that first session is that it worked. And there's still, we really figured out the alternate shot. I thought we did a really good job of that. I think we need to do a little bit better with the best ball pairings and getting the players to understand why I have them paired together and how I want them to play. I want them to go play the way they always play. I don't want them to play to have two balls in play on every hole. Like, there's just some little things to strategy that I want to try to be a little bit more involved in with them, just to make sure they understand why I have them paired together.
And is it that just a matter of communicating better, or just kind of like setting the expectation a little quicker off the top? Or
Yeah, I think it's communicating better. It's the why of the stats of why that in my head I know why I put Angel and Cheyenne together, but they maybe don't know why I put them together. So just communicating with them the why, and I need you guys to go be aggressive. I need you guys to go make some birdies. Like, this is not a format where pars are going to win holes. So it's really that mindset of being a little bit more aggressive, I think, in that best ball format. And because there were times last year where, Europe had one person was completely out of play in the hazard or in the trees, and the other person was sitting there making birdie and beating us, and we had two balls in play. So it's just a little bit of the strategy there. But overall, we did a really good job, I thought, behind the scenes of making it fun for the players and making sure they enjoyed this too. I mean, that was really the number one goal for me, was that they enjoyed this process, because this week, the Solheim Cup week, is hard. It's long. It's stressful. It's the most stressful golf they'll ever play. And coming out of it, they all said we had so much fun, and like, that was first and foremost. That's what I wanted for them.
right, and I think of fun. I think of Paula Kramer. I think of Brent Lincecum, who you've added to your assistant captains here. What will they bring that you maybe didn't have last time? What kind of elements, their personality, what kinds of things will they bring?
Well, first I wanted to keep things moving as far as captains being ready for the future. So I wanted to I wanted to have Paula and Morgan back because I think they're the most immediate, like they're going to be captains very soon. And then down the road, Paula and Brittany are going to be captains. So I just wanted them to have experience and to be around it, first and foremost. And then, Paula is, to me, when I think of Solheim Cup, it's Paula Creamer. I mean,
Face of it, huh?
she's the face of it. She's the energy. She was one of those players that I would always ask her, I'm like, how do you make so many putts in Solheim's? Like, she was just one of those players that played better at Solheim's, and I don't know what it was. And so it's just that experience. That's why I wanted her, and the energy, and the fans love her. And then Brittany, very, kind of the polar opposite personality. I mean, she got into it, but she was more concerned about just having fun and hanging out with everybody. And I wanted like very different personalities in my assistants so that everybody kind of felt like they had somebody they could go talk to and kind of be around. And it worked out really good in Spain, with Morgan and Natalie and Angela. But I also wanted to switch things up because we're going to have some different players on the team. So the team itself is going to be a little bit different. And I wanted, I didn't want one person to feel like the odd man out, so I wanted to switch things up and make this feel like it's a different Solheim Cup too.
Well, and I also think of, you mentioned Angela there real quick, and she mentioned to me that with your strengths, like you are very good at setting expectations, you're clear about what you want, but also there's a softer side of you. There's a very excitable, softer side of you, and I'm curious, like, it's hard to kind of self-assess here, but like, what part of you comes out during this event in terms of that softer side?
I think the mom in me comes out. I think she probably would tell you that I've probably, and I think people around me have said this, that I've changed in the last 5 years since having a kid. I think it definitely changes your perspective on life and the way you handle things. And at times you feel like I have 12 kids as well, so it's just trying to manage the emotions of it too, right? I mean, just the emotions of this week are so hard. And so just to put your arm around the shoulder and say, I got you, like I got your back, like it's okay. And just to understand that they're people, and that's the mom in me. Is I want them to be okay. I want them to be happy. I want them to be enjoying this, and that's something I've tried to communicate to them, that those that have been stressed about making the team, that are on the bubble, like, you're okay, like you're in a good spot. I've tried to kind of massage that too a little bit so that they're not stressing so much those last few weeks.
Speaking of stressing, like, what are the biggest challenges when you're organizing that team, coming up with pairings and just keeping them fired up? Like, what are the biggest challenges that week of?
The pairings. The pairings are the hardest part about this whole thing, to be honest. I remember, the weeks between when the team was announced and when we got to Spain, it was just, I would just sit there at home and just like stare at the piece of paper. And it's like, okay, how can I do this? How do I figure this out? It's a giant jigsaw puzzle of how do I, you have these parameters of like, I want this person to play this format. I want this person to play 3 times. I want this person to play twice. Like, you're just trying to figure it out. And then it all changed when I got to Spain. So it was ever evolving. And it was finally like Saturday night, after you get the singles lineup out, it's kind of like, okay, I'm done.
Take a breath.
I can take a breath. I can relax. And now it's up to how they play, and you hope you're on the right side of it.
What about delegating overall, like as you look at your assistant captains, or just that challenge of the week?
Yeah, I mean,
will it be different at all this time?
It will be different because in this hosting like this and being in the U.S., I'm going to have a lot more demands on me, on my time. So in Spain, there was a lot of times where I could just go watch a practice round and just go see, be around. But there's times that I'm going to be pulled in to speak at various things, or I need to do a run through for opening ceremonies, or just anything. So definitely while the players are practicing, I use the assistants to be another set of eyes for me. How are they playing? What are the attitudes like? Do I need to talk to anybody? Just being another set of eyes, really. And I've told the assistant, we have this little circle of trust where what it's ever said in the circle doesn't leave the circle. And, if we need to, be honest with some people and talk to people, that's, we do it as a group. And I've done that to try to help prepare the assistants too for being captain, of being around when I talk to players and kind of just knowing how I'm handling certain situations.
You mentioned circle of trust, and I think of the team room. It was such a big deal for you going in. Just you want the players to spend time and love being in the team room. So what is it about that? And then here having a home one this year.
Yeah, it's because this is the week. This is not a normal week. Like normal weeks, they got their little team of people around them, and they don't really spend a ton of time together. And so this is a time where they really get to spend time together. And it was cool to watch in Spain. Sunday night when we got there, things were pretty quiet, and like every night it just got a little bit louder in the team room. And then by Sunday, I mean, Danielle, or I think Andrea was sitting in Danielle's lap, just friendships form out of this thing that they're all sitting at the same table, where the first night everybody was kind of spread out, kind of doing their thing. And so it was cool to watch the dynamics and how people kind of bonded to each other throughout the week. And that's something that I think we'll transition into this one. We'll kind of pick up where we left off in Spain there, instead of having to start new again. But unfortunately, with the setup and where the hotel is this year, they're going to get a lot of time together. So they may need some quiet time every now and then.
Definitely, and also think I would think of the uniforms. It would got to be a cool thing. This is kind of more of a aesthetic question, but how much of that how important is that to you in terms of just the uniforms and getting the feedback from the ladies and how much they enjoy that?
The details are what's important to me. I'm a very detailed person, because a lot of these little things, they add up to what it feels like, what the experience feels like. And so the clothes that you wear matter. The material that it is matters. If it feels crappy, if it doesn't fit very good, like, it affects how you feel about yourself, and it affects how you're going to play. And so what the bag looks like, how the clothes fit, what the clothes look like. I mean, I'm a detailed person, like crazy. I mean, I'm probably on the team here, my team that's helping me behind the scenes, too much about things. They're probably like, you need to calm down. But it matters to the experience. And so we put a lot of thought into the clothes, and we got a great company in Dunning helping us out. But something really cool is I brought in a kind of a military type theme this year, because we're so close to our nation's capital. I wanted to celebrate the military that, allows us to play golf for a living and to have great events like this. And so we drew our inspiration for the uniforms from the different branches of the military. So it's something really cool that, and I wanted an appreciation for the players of like, hey, this is not like life or death. Like, you get to play golf. You get to do this. Like, just, it's not the end of the world if you miss a 5-footer, that kind of thing. So trying to bring some perspective there, and we're going to continue that in throughout the week. We've got 9/11 is the week of the tournament. So we're having First Responder Day on 9/11, and we're doing some really cool things around the week, involving the military. We're going to do a little trip into D.C. on Monday to, just to get some life experience a little bit and get to see some things that they wouldn't normally get to see if they tried to do it on their own. So we got a lot of really cool things planned, and it's all around growing. And I guess it's probably my husband being a college golf coach, the influence of a coach in my life, but I want them to grow as people too. I want them to be able to learn something from this experience that moves them forward in life, that helps them be better people, that helps them be better golfers. Like, this is such a great opportunity to learn that I want to, help them grow as people too.
That's good that you're talking about impact and thinking beyond just this week, the week of the event. Also, the way you spend your time watching the matches unfold, is there anything different about how you'll kind of spend your time taking all that information in?
Yeah, so last year I was all over the golf course. People, I guess they were like, she's on 6 and then she's on 10. Like, I was jumping all over the place, but I was trying to just be a resource for the caddies in how certain holes were playing, whether it was the wind or the yardage. So that'll be something I talk to the caddies about, is like, hey, where do you need me? Where do you want me to be? Are there certain holes that you guys want me to be on? So it's really from there. And then it's just whether does somebody need a pep talk, using so my assistants aren't allowed to talk to the players. They're not allowed to give any advice once the matches start, but they can be another set of eyes for me and say, hey, this person has lost 2 holes in a row. I think you should come walk with them for a little bit, or whatever it is. And so then that's like the lead up to it, you get to know these players and know like, hey, which one needs a kick in the butt and which one needs a hug, So it's trying to get to know the players on just in those moments. How do you talk to them? How do you motivate them? And so that's what a lot of the last few years have been for me.
Do you feel like you're better at kicking the butt or the hug?
Definitely the kick in the butt. I was the kick in the butt. I always needed the kick in the butt. So, but I think now I can do the hug now because I got a little one that needs a hug a lot of times.
And lastly, Chesney, your daughter, how cool is it to have her out at a week like this?
She had so much fun in Spain. And for a lot of the people, like I didn't see this, but I guess they walked in the team room one day and she was pretending to put nail polish on my caddy. So, who's the man? But, so it's that perspective, right? She doesn't know whether they win or lose matches. And so for her to be in the team room and be able to be around these strong women, just what a great opportunity for her to learn as a person and to grow. And, she's learning what hard work is because she sees what mom does. She sees how busy I am. And, there's times where I haven't played very good and it's like, we got to practice harder. And she's like, okay, we got to practice more. She understands what a missed cut means now, so she's just learning the value, what it means to work hard. And that's what I wanted out of it the most for her out of this.
Definitely. Well, hey, Stacy, really appreciate the time and great catching up.
Awesome.